welcome back to Around Our World in 80. We are going to be talking about my new Apple Watch. Now, I can hear some of you saying, oh my gosh, why do you need another Apple Watch review? I still have a lot of people on different Facebook groups that I'm a part of, especially ones related to running, asking whether the Apple Watch is worth it or not. And so I figured I would give my 2 cents on why I love it. So I bought the very first Apple Watch that Apple came out with, like literally pre-ordered it the day it was available, stayed up till 2 a.m. and I've been using it every day ever since. And one of the reasons why I love it is because it not only keeps track of my activity, but it motivates me to be more active. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that share that same sentiment. There's just something about the visual closing of those rings on your activity center that is just very satisfying and lets me know that I'm getting the movement in that I need to stay healthy. As a bonus to the activity monitoring, so to speak, it has a bunch of really cute watch faces, which right now I have Minnie Mouse, and I love being able to change it depending on what my mood is that day. That's a fun feature for me. Apple Pay is also something that I love. It's really nice to not have to take my wallet out or even my phone out, because sometimes it's buried in the bottom of the diaper bag, and it's really nice to be able to just go boop and tap, and it's really fun. The other thing that I love about it is the ability to control my music. So the way that my car stereo is set up is my watch actually connects with my car stereo, and I can play my music from my watch to my stereo, and I can change songs if I need to, and that's also really convenient. The only complaint that I had about the very first Apple Watch was that it didn't have cellular capability, and so whenever I would go on a run or on a walk or somewhere where I didn't necessarily want to take my phone, I always had to take my phone in order for my watch to work. So when I found out that the Apple Series 3 was going to come out with cellular capability, that was the model that I was waiting for to upgrade to. So with that said, I've now had the Apple Watch 3 since Christmas. Honestly, I love it. The only thing that I don't really like about the aesthetics is it has this like red thing on the side, I guess to signify that it's a cellular one, and I don't really think that's necessary. Why did you ruin the aesthetics of a beautiful watch with a big giant red button on the side? That doesn't make sense to me. Other than that, it has great battery life. I mean, I've barely cracked 50% left in the battery at the end of the day. There's even days where I'm like, how can I use my Apple Watch more so that I drain the battery life? I love going on walks without my phone. It's fantastic. I can put my music right into my AirPods, which I'll do a review about later because I've only had these for a week and I'm still figuring them out. I also feel like that with the GPS and cellular capabilities of my Apple Watch, my activity monitoring is more accurate, because sometimes I'm pushing the stroller or I am, walking and I'm not necessarily moving my arm like this, and so it still tracks my movement and gets how many miles I've actually walked without me necessarily having to move my arm. Honestly, the only thing that I don't love about the Apple Watch is that not all developers have jumped onto the Apple Watch. I mean, I use Waze every single day, and it's kind of frustrating that I have to pull out my phone every single time I want to use Waze to navigate somewhere. Don't get me wrong, I love Apple Maps, but it's just not as good, and a lot of times they send me some really funky ways, or they even lead me to the wrong address. Waze, why can you not develop an Apple Watch companion app? Also, another app that I would love to see make an Apple Watch thing is Charity Miles. I love doing Charity Miles. I've been using them for almost 5 years now, and yet they can't seem to make an Apple Watch companion, so sometimes when I don't want to bring my phone, I can't log Charity Miles for them. It would just make sense that if you're wanting to raise more money for more charities, you would make it easier for people to use your app to make miles happen for you. I mean, come on. Another one that doesn't make sense to me is GlowBaby. GlowBaby is a fantastic app where it allows you to kind of log things for your child. It was really helpful for us to like log when she was having poopy diapers, or when she was sleeping, or when she was eating, how much she was eating, so that when I went to the doctor and I was sleep deprived, I was able to just list off the things that were going on with our baby and make sure that everything was good. Right now, we mostly just use it for feedings to make sure that she's eating enough, and I know how much I need to pump if I need to pump. And yet, apparently, they don't have an Apple Watch app, so I have to not only juggle a baby, but also a cell phone. It would be really nice to just boop, put it on my watch that she's eating. Also, Nike Training Club. You've done a fantastic job with your Nike running app, integrating it literally into the iOS for Apple. But for some reason, you don't seem to think that Nike Training Club needs to have the same treatment. I would love to be able to just take all of my workouts from my Nike Training Club and put it on my watch and then be able to take that to the gym instead of having to lug my phone around and potentially leave it in certain places, like next to the weight machine, like I may or may not have done before. Also, there's all these apps out there and all these products that are the lights where you can turn them on and off with your apps. And I love it. It's fantastic. It allows me to do the lighting for these videos. But for some reason, you don't think that an Apple Watch app would make it more convenient, because whenever I want to turn off the lights, I have to go find my phone or just turn off the light switch. And if I turn off the light switch, then I have to use the light switch to turn them back on. And I can't make it nice with my app. And that's sad. Especially when the baby's crying at 3 a.m. and I only want to turn on one light and I can't find my phone. Another running app, Road ID. I love Road ID. I have Road IDs and it allows me to feel partially safe whenever I'm going out, that if I for some reason have a medical emergency, my hopeful medical personnel team will be able to look up all my medical information based on the stuff on my band. However, there's also a companion app where you can have people track you, and if for some reason you stop, they can alert authorities and try to find you based on your location on the map, so that you get better response for medical emergencies. However, if I don't want to take my phone with me because now I have a cellular function on my app, we're gonna have an issue. Last but not least, my Disney experience. Disney, I know you're all about the Magic Bands, which I am in love with, don't get me wrong. But if I just want to check when a FastPass time is, it would be really nice to be able to just look it up on my watch instead of having to pull out my phone. So anyways, that's me griping. Literally the only thing that is holding back the Apple Watch is developers' inability to apparently make apps for it. And I wish more people would get on the Apple Watch bandwagon, and I would love, love, love to use their apps more on my Apple Watch. So like I said, I'll be probably doing an AirPods review because now I can listen to music without my phone on my watch. And whenever I figure out how to use them effectively, I will give you a real review on those. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you guys next week.